Storm, earth, and fire, heed my call.
What's up everyone? So today I got a bit of a different video for you guys, since this will be a PvP commentary. I uploaded some PvP videos in the past before, but they didn't have commentary in it. I recently just started leaving the voice comms in, but since I play with a German team, some of you guys obviously don't understand German, so it's hard to follow. Even though I got some feedback that the videos definitely helped you guys improve, I think it could still be better in terms of having an educational value if I do a commentary over it. And that's pretty much what we're doing today. The background story of this session in particular is that the session that we played before this one that you can see in the video, we scubaed down very hard. Like, we lost a lot of rating. I think we dropped from like 2.6k MMR to like below 2.3. And so in this session we just wanted to get it back together and actually focus up instead of just trolling all the time and gain back our rating. So I have everything in this video, like all the wins and all the losses of the session. And I'd say we just start right up. We hop into the video and then I will tell you guys about what's going on basically. So this first game we're playing against jungle. So the main plan would be to kill the feral here as good as we can, since the hunter will kite us a lot. The priest uses Rapture first global, which is really good for us since it's a very strong cooldown against us. So the feral is out, we just try to get some damage going onto the feral. The hunter uses pet sack on the feral, which is also a really strong cooldown, since you can't crit the target during pet sack, so it's really good to have that out of the way. We're just hitting the hunter now, since the feral is kiting us quite a bit. And now the feral is back. I'm in my Doomwinds window right here, and they pretty much got nothing left, and he just dies without me using Wolves or Ascendance. So that's a pretty quick win there. And this was the first game of the session that we played, first game of the week. And since our MMR was so low, you can see we didn't actually gain any rating, and you can see our MMR is really low, even though our CR is still pretty high. Since we were like 2.6 when we started losing in the last session, like before this one. So yeah, no points for that one, but at least we're gaining some MMR. So this next game we play against sub Windwalker. You can already tell by the comps, or by this comp I guess, that we're playing at a little bit of a lower rating, since you don't really face Windwalker sub rogue in higher rating. And we're actually facing SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs, which is kind of funny. We faced SpongeBob a lot of times before. He's actually a high rated player, but I think he's playing with a lower rated rogue in this one. So the game plan would be to kill the rogue, but as you can see, the rogue is just kiting us in shapeshift as a night fae right here. So with the Windwalker sitting on me the whole game, it's pretty hard to connect to the rogue. So that's why at some point I think we will actually try to kill the Windwalker. Like right here you can see I'm just so slowed. I'm even in Ghost Wolf form and trying to catch up to the rogue. Here he vanishes right as I use my Doomwind, so I decide to ascend on the Windwalker. And I purge off the Bob, he karmas, but we break the karma instantly and we pretty much just kill him in one wind strike after the karma there. So that was a pretty good burst there, so we kill the Windwalker and we get the win. The rogue actually just came out of stealth after the Windwalker died. He didn't even see it coming. So that's the second win of the session. It was a pretty quick game. Again, we didn't gain any rating from this one as well. We just gotta get the MMR up. So loses at this point would be very devastating, since we would lose a lot of rating. But so far it's all looking pretty good. So let's see what the next matchup will be. And we're facing Ellie Fire Mage. I do remember this game, and it's Tolbiron Arena. And if you face a caster Cleave comp, like especially Ellie Fire Mage, that they can kite us so hard, the game will go on for a long time. And it's not really that much happening. It's just like hiding, doing our goes, hiding again, and trying to get them down while they kite us. Which is why I actually just speed up this video a bit and just look at what's going on with this timer. Like, look at this, okay? I hope you don't get dizzy because the background is moving so quickly. But look at the timer. Like, how many minutes do we have to play the same game? Like, as I said, we just do our opener, we hide behind a pillar. We do the opener, we hide behind a pillar. And that's just how we have to play it, since, yeah, there's pretty much no other way we will beat them. If we play in the open all the time, we will just lose against this comp. And they're just so good at kiting us that, yeah, it's as I said, really hard to beat this comp, at least for us. And yeah, but after almost 8 minutes of fighting them, we get a good opening here on the Ellie Shaman. We got Lust and Doomwinds here. The Paladin is almost He got a big heal here, but I just let him cast a big heal and just focus on damage on the Ellie Shaman, since I knew we had enough throughput at this point. And we finally get the kill on the Ellie Shaman, which this was a really annoying game. Like, you saw how long it took for the timer to go down, and it was 20 times the normal speed. So yeah, it was kind of a rough game, to be honest. So now here we're fighting a rogue mage again, RMP. It's definitely not a favorable comp in my opinion. So let's see how this game goes. I get combat on the priest, which is really good against RMP. Just as a quick tip, you want to use your slow totem in the beginning to get combat on the discipline priest, since the rogue and the mage will always stealth in the beginning of the game and will get the opener on you. But if you get combat on the discipline priest and your paladin or your healer, whatever your healer may be, dispels me, he won't get cooldown on his dispel, since obviously there's nothing to dispel on me in the opener. But since I'm in combat from my slow totem and the healer dispels me, he gets in combat as well. And therefore, with all of us being in combat, the rogue can't sap any of us, and it makes their opener way worse. So that's what you try to do in this matchup. But in this situation, unfortunately, we got feared. I could have tremored it, to be honest. But I set some CC that I shouldn't have to sit there, since it was pretty obvious that the priest would fear there, but that's just a mistake on my end. So the rogue dueled my paladin actually, and the paladin kept him in combat and lowered him down here under the bridge. So I come to help my paladin, and I don't use any cooldowns on him. I just want to pressure the rogue basically, and we force vanish, as you can see right here from the omnibar. He vanishes here, and we also got rapture from the priest. So at this point, the biggest defensive cooldown, which would be rapture, is already used. Rogue also doesn't have vanish, so the rogue is definitely a good kill target at this point. I'm pretty annoyed, as you can see in my face cam in the bottom left, since I wanted to purge the MC off of my warrior. If you didn't know that, if one of your teammates gets MC'd by a priest, you can purge that target and then the MC falls off, basically. So here we do our go finally on the rogue. I pop Ascendance, I pop everything, and we just instantly kill him, basically, and he goes into seed, and we kill the seed as well. And we get the win there. So was a pretty good game. We just baited all of their defensive cooldowns and then did one go, and that's it. So cooldown trading is definitely very important. You don't want to just use everything on pull. Just bait their defensives and then do your go. So right now we're fighting Frost Decay Arms Warrior. Frost Decay is actually the worst spec to play against as an enhancement shaman, or as a melee cleave in general. I really hate it. So right here, what I'm trying to do is I want to dodge the go of the enemies. Since Frost Decays will always try to get triple CC on us, so especially since we're playing Turbo, we are melee cleave. Typically we would sit on the Frost Decay anyways together, and then they want to grip in our healer, blinding light on all of us, then they use the dragon on top of us, and use their chill streak as well, which you gain a lot if one of us dodges the go in the beginning, which is why I was just staying really far in the beginning. And as you can see, I dodged the go. He just used the dragon there, and he stunned my paladin and my warrior, but I'm out of it, which is why I'm just standing here casting Hex onto the Frost Decay, which would basically just kill their opener or force a trinket on him, since he's in his Pillar of Frost cooldown right now. I also used the Cap Totem here just to peel for my teammates as well. I stunned the warrior with that, which is really good. Unfortunately, the Hex gets grounded here by the healer, but it's still fine. We got Grounding Totem, which is not bad. And now we are using our offensive ghost, since their go is pretty much over. So now we can do damage. I only use Bloodlust and Doomwinds here, and I save my Ascendance as an additional threat. Because now at this point, whenever someone drops low of the enemy team, I can just use Ascendance and finish them off, which is what I'm trying to do here. Right here, the enemy Shaman hexed my Paladin, as you can see right here. And I definitely want to make sure to dispel that. That's the #1 priority for me, to dispel that. So you can see right here, it's lighting up my decurse. Since, yeah, I'm just decursing him right now. That's really important, so he can start healing again and get out of melee range, basically. Since if a Frost Decay sits on all of your group members, you pretty much lost. Like, as you can see right here, we got Heartstop Aura from the Frost Decay, and that makes it to where all of your cooldowns take longer to come back up again, basically. So it's really bad to be in melee range of a Frost Decay, which is what we want to avoid, obviously. So I still got Ascendance as an additional threat, as I said. And right here he drops pretty low, the DK. And right now I could Ascendance and basically kill him with the initial damage. 8.2k, we could definitely do that. So let's see what I'm doing here. He drops low and he uses Icebound Fortitude right here, as you can see, which is his defensive cooldown. If I would Trinket right now and instantly Ascendance, it would still kill him. But I take a bit too long. As you can see, the healer gets the Riptide off and he gets healed to like 23% when I use Ascendance. So I kind of missed the kill opportunity there, which is pretty sad. But we can see that they used their BM trinket, like the DK right here, the small icon, you can see he used his BM trinket. And they have Rallying Cry up, which both of those buffs will fall off in a few seconds and will reduce his health by quite a bit. So we definitely want to keep attention to this right here, like to the Rallying Cry. Obviously you can't really see it on the DK since he's disarmed, and disarm overrides the Rallying Cry icon, but the duration is the same for all of them. So right now the Rallying Cry will fall and you will see how much health the DK will lose. So he lost like 15k, which is quite a bit, and now we got 6 seconds for his BM to fall. So in this situation, what we want to do is just to keep pressure on the DK to keep him low, that whenever his BM buff falls off, he's just going to die, basically. So we're trying to use my Ascendance and some Storm Strikes to keep the damage on him, and now their BM falls and he's just dead. Like right here you can see how much damage it actually does. So right here you can see the buff is almost done. He's at 32%. And it falls and it drops him to 2% and we just finish him off. So definitely keep attention to the BM trinket, or emblem as you call it as well, and use it to your advantage, basically, since that's really strong if you know how to handle that. Same goes for Rallying Cry from Warriors as well. So we beat the Frost Decay team, and next up we got a Windwalker Shadow Priest. I actually remember this game. This was quite annoying, since this Windwalker, his damage is actually crazy, and you will see why. The game plan is pretty much just to go onto the Shadow Priest and train down the Shadow Priest as much as we can. And I'm doing a really bad job in this game. I noticed that while rewatching the game. I'm doing a really bad job at facing the Windwalker while chasing the Shadow Priest. I always turn my back to the Windwalker, which is really bad. And it's the reason why the Windwalker gets so much pressure on me and does so much damage, since I can't parry him, since I'm just turning my back onto him all the time, which I definitely need to improve on for the next time that we're facing this. Also, I shouldn't open up my inventory mid-game, because I fat finger my keybind for the inventory. That's pretty bad as well. So I can't really connect on the Priest. I did a small go with Bloodlust Doomwinds there, but we couldn't really get too much damage out. That's the BM trinket on the Priest right there. You can see it, 14 seconds, 13 seconds left. We almost get him down here with my Chain Harvest, and we forced Sack and Dispersion. That's a big overlap on their end. And now we're pretty much trying to survive until I get my Bloodlust and Doomwinds back. Since I still hold Ascendance, as I said earlier, you just want to bait defensive cooldowns of the enemy team and keep your Ascendance as an additional threat. So right here I purge off the Bob instantly of the Shadow Priest, and again his Windwalker's just soloing me. So right here finally we get the last Fate, Paladin is stunned, I use Bloodlust, I use Doomwinds, I use Ascendance, and yeah, you can see we just killed the Shadow in our go, since they pretty much had nothing left. Like the Shadow Priest, he still had life swap, but I think he didn't expect that much damage coming in, but he didn't have Dispersion. There were no more Bobs, no Fate, no anything, so we just win. Next game is against an Arms Warrior Elemental Shaman. I actually cut to the middle of this game, since in the beginning the Elemental Shaman was disconnected, so the beginning of the game was yeah, I just cut that out. We actually played it for a while, so this is just the ending of the game basically. Since yeah, they are just kiting here. I get a Purge Kick on the heal, which was nice. He gets the sack off, so pretty much the damage that we do on the Alley Shaman goes to the Holy Paladin. But still we try to hit into the Alley Shaman. That was his Stormkeeper burst. And now we just try to keep uptime. We get a Blinding Light on the Holy Paladin, which is nice. He doesn't trinket this. And there, again, you can see, I can't tell you how important it is to keep an eye on the Battlemaster trinket, like on the emblem, you know? Like, the Alley Shaman is at 49%. The trinket drops in 1 second right here. Paladin still doesn't trinket the Blinding Light, so he's sitting the CC. And right here, the trinket falls and he drops to like, I don't know, 15-12% HP. And yeah, at that moment we can just finish him off. So definitely always keep in mind to pay attention to that trinket. That's a really big tip that I can give you guys. And yeah, we take the win there. And we're already up to like 2.4, and this is still the same session, by the way. And we're almost at 2.5 CR again. So we're finally getting the MMR back. Next game is against RMP, and I told you I would leave losses in as well. I wanted to play BM Trinket myself here in this game, but I was kind of too slow for it. I get combat again. This was a good opener in terms of I got combat, so we couldn't get sapped. Again, I did the same mistake. I know that they want to do the opener on my healer, and I get feared by the priest again. I should have just tremored it. It's just that I didn't learn from my mistake earlier in the session. And this is just the typical RMP right here. I get feared, my warrior gets DB sheeped, and they do a kidney go onto my healer. And yeah, this is just how RMP games end sometimes. They get the master spell off, but my paladin didn't even bubble, since it was such a quick death. And so we take the lose there, unfortunately. Next game we fight Godcomb. Also not the best game, to be honest, but I will show the game to you guys anyways. I cut it a bit shorter since yeah, it's not really that interesting of a game. We tried to do a go in the opener. It didn't really went too well, so at some point, as you can see right here, my warrior dies during mind games. It was also kind of my mistake, since right here I got 5 Forceful Wind stacks right here, and oh, not Forceful Wind, sorry, Maidstone Weapon stacks. Wait, I went back a bit too much, a bit too far. Sorry, this is what I wanted to show you. Yeah, I got 10 stacks in a second. Yeah, right here I got 10 stacks. This is what I wanted to show you guys. My paladin is rung in the Ring of Frost. My warrior has mind games on him, so I know that my healer is CC'd, and I definitely want to top my warrior. And I should use my Maelstrom weapon stacks to heal him here instead of continuing the damage onto the paladin. But I'm in my Ascendance, which is why I'm just greeding for damage here, which is a big mistake, and I shouldn't have done that in that situation. So I could have topped him here twice and we would have been fine. But since I didn't do it, now I turn around and I wanted to do it, but I got silenced by the priest. So it's pretty much over, and he just dies during the silence on me, which is pretty unfortunate. Yeah, we kind of just threw the game there. Then we continue like 2 minutes trying to get a kill, and we actually got kind of close in multiple situations. I'm not the biggest fan of like extending games if you already lost, but in this situation I actually felt like we could have won, and we got them to very low percentages multiple times. So I felt like we could grab the win here, which is why we tried, I guess. But I cut that out again, and I just die here. And because I stalled the game a tiny bit, I get teabagged there from the enemy team, which obviously is a bit of BM, but I can kind of understand it. I mean, I dragged out the game for 2 minutes trying to get the win, which, I don't know, still doesn't justify teabagging, but you know, it happens from time to time. So now we fight the Frosty K Arms Warrior, which, again, Frosty K, we definitely hate to see it, but yeah. We want to kill the Frosty K again. Right here I just precast Door of Shadows just to get kicks, since I don't really care to get kicked on Shadow at all. So I just used that in the beginning to get some kicks out of the way sometimes, so that my Paladin can actually heal properly. And right here we just tank a lot of damage. We haven't really used anything offensively yet. And yeah, now that they did their go, we pretty much just want to set up our go. And I tried to get a Hex here on the Paladin, but I get gripped in. I tried again, but I get gripped in again, which is pretty unfortunate. So now I just use Bloodlust. We purge off the Bob from the DK, and we do our big go. We use Ascendance, everything, just try to burn them down. The Warrior intervene parries the DK. So this is pretty much everything from them, right? The healer used Wings, the healer sacked the DK, the Warrior intervene parried the DK. So at this point pretty much nothing can take damage except for the Paladin, since the Paladin sacked the DK. So at this point we see, okay, we have to switch to the Paladin all the way in the back there, since otherwise we won't get the kill. And yeah, this is where we Stormbolt him, 1 Wind Strike into Chain Harvest, and he's just dead. And this is the perfect combo, by the way, if you want to do a swap on long range. Right here, you use a Wind Strike, and you can see them coming out of my character right here. Like, let's go a bit further. You can see them flying here, you know? And the damage will only connect once the Wind Strike actually hits the Paladin. So, which is why you want to wait a tiny bit. And then, once the Wind Strike hits the target, then you want to use your Chain Harvest as well. And just kill him that way, basically. So we definitely played that pretty well and took the win there against them. Alright, let's see. Yeah, we killed the Warrior off, and we're almost at 2.5 again. Another Frosty K Arms Warrior. This is actually just a guide video against Frosty K Arms Warrior at this point, I'd say. So yeah, we open up on the Frost again. I try to get away from them, just as I showed you in the game earlier, but they did get the triple CC off. Actually, my Warrior got out of it, which is pretty nice, so they just get to burst on 2 of us. And they also use Icebound Fortitude, which is pretty nice. And now we're just trying to get our go going. So yeah, we're just doing a bit of damage here. My Warrior drops pretty low. We use Bloodlust here into Doomwinds. Also Ascendance, we're doing a big go actually. Intervene parry again. The Warrior intervenes the DK and he uses parry, so pretty much useless to attack them anymore, but I still throw some Wind Strikes in there actually. And at this point Intervene falls off and my Wind Strikes actually connect to the DK again. So I get him pretty low, I Chain Harvest to get the kill. But they get the Rallying Cry and Bubble Sack off, which is a bit of an overlap again on their side, which is pretty good. And now the DPS actually just go over to our healer and try to kill him. So in this situation we decide to go onto their healer as well. So we just swap over and he Blinding Lights both of us. I trinketed to keep the pressure on him. And I just try to get any damage done on him, which is pretty impossible for me at this moment. I interrupt him here, and now as the Warrior connects, we actually get some damage going onto the Paladin. Even though it's definitely not enough at this moment. And we force a DK to come back and help his Paladin. and the warrior as well. Right here I wanted to purge the Bob, I got the big heal instead and kicked him, and I got the Bob afterwards. So Paladin is kiting away again. I wanted to hex the DK here to save my Paladin and peel a little bit, but he kinda just lined it. So right now I'm just trying to hex the Paladin, get kicked on it as well, which is pretty unlucky. And I just decide to do a small go, Bloodlust Doom Winds, and we get some Storm Strikes. And right here you can see the power of Storm Strike procs. Like right here I'm in my Doom Winds window, and I hit 1 Storm Strike, I get 3 Forceful Wind Stacks, I hit another Storm Strike right here, and at 5 Forceful Wind Stacks with all of my cooldowns up, another Storm Strike, and he's just dead. So getting procs during Doom Winds definitely is a game winner at this moment. And yeah, we beat another Frost Decay, which is nice. It's one of our biggest counters, but you do win sometimes, which is nice. And would you look at that, Walking Dead, we got another Frost Decay. So yeah, I guess we just go again, try to beat another Frost Decay. Let's go. Yeah, obviously the main target is the Frost Decay again. I'm just trying to stay away here from my warrior to deny their go. I stun both DPS. I want to hex the Paladin, but I get incapped on it. I get disarmed, still trying to get away from the DPS and getting a hex on the healer, which I get both kicks here. I actually got kicked by the Windwalker. And now I pretty much tank damage all game long, and I haven't done anything offensively. Like, if you check the damage meter over here, I really didn't do anything yet, since I really want to get the hex onto the healer. The healer uses wings as well here, so he does some big healing. But I finally, after getting incapped and disarmed and interrupted and whatever, I get the hex off, and the healer is full hexed, so finally we can Bloodlust, we can Doom Winds, we can do everything basically. And we just kill the Frost Decay. I actually wanted to hold Ascendance there, since I wasn't really aware that we could kill him without using Ascendance here. But I just used Sunder. I trinket the leg sweep, and I do one Storm Strike into a second Storm Strike. Oh no, I actually just chain harvested, and the Paladin is a bit too late with his trinket. Like, you can see right here, if we go really slow, that he was still hexed basically whenever I chain harvested the guy. Like right here, I chain harvest, he's at 3%, and he dies and the healer is still hexed and didn't trinket basically. So yeah, we just set up the perfect kill there and just executed it. So a pretty good game in my opinion, and definitely shows that you can beat Frost Decays if you play it correctly. So now we get a PHP, which is Paladin, Hunter, and Priest. We're fighting Relza. We actually fought that Priest multiple times before, so he's definitely not a bad player. And our target right here is the red Paladin, since the Hunter will have a very easy time kiting us, especially on this map. So I get knocked feared here. I hex the Priest, which he has to trinket, otherwise he won't get out of it. And we just do a small go on the Paladin, and he just instantly dies without bubble. Like you can see if I go back a tiny bit, after I get the hex here. I use Bloodlust, I use Doom Winds, I Sunder him here and get 1 Storm Strike off. And at this point, he gets healed a bit, and now he gets pet sacked. And during pet sack you typically want to switch off of the target, since obviously he won't die in most cases in this situation, and he still has bubble. But since I was already spamming Chain Harvest, I just got it off anyways, and it hit for 10k, and then he just died. So it was kind of a lucky kill, I guess, since he was greedy with the bubble. But that's just how it is sometimes. We got tons of burst. I didn't even use my Ascendance there, so definitely not a bad win on that end. Next up, I think it's the second to last game, we got another RMP. And again, Priest stands there, slow totem to get combat, and get the wolves out to get Maelstrom weapon stacks, as always. He actually kidneys me here, even though they want to go onto my Paladin. So they force bubble in the opener, which is pretty standard. And our plan is to kill the rogue against RMP, as always. I tank the CS there, which is kinda good, so that my healer doesn't get kicked. I purge off the MC of my warrior, which is really nice, so he doesn't get thrown off the bridge. And right here we finally get some damage going. I trinket the MC, so I wouldn't get thrown off the bridge, so we can actually do our go on the rogue. I use Bloodlust, Doomwinds, Ascendance, everything here, and we just pump damage. He doesn't take a lot of damage because he's in the dome right here, and we force Vanish. With the rest of Ascendance, we just switch onto the Mage, and we actually proc his Cauterize and get his Ice Block, which is really nice. So now the Rogue is in Vanish, the Mage is downstairs, so we just go onto the Priest for a bit. I get the Blind here from the Rogue, and they do another go on my Paladin, which he survives, which is pretty good. I get full sheeped here, and I just try to connect to the Rogue right now. I ground. I want to hex the Mage, but he interrupted. He's really quick with killing grounding and interrupting my hex. So he sheeps me here again, and we got evasion from the Rogue. Like, my warrior actually forced evasion without me being there, which is really, really big. Since now the Rogue doesn't have any real defensives anymore. He still has Cloak of Shadows, but Cloak of Shadows is rather irrelevant against us. So right here, that was pretty unlucky. Like, I used Bloodlust, I used Doomwinds, so I'm right now in my Doomwinds window. But we didn't get the interrupt on the MC, so the priest MCs me off the bridge. So I instantly Ghost Wolf and run back up. And we still got 8 more seconds of my Doomwinds window. Actually 5 seconds, sorry. We got 5 more seconds. And at this point I see he's casting another Mind Control. So he wants to throw me off of the bridge. So I instantly charge in and I Sunder not only the MC cast, but also the Sheep cast and the Rogue who wants to kite away. So I get the triple Sunder. And since I'm still in my Doomwinds window for 4 seconds, I hit big Storm Strikes and big Crash Lightnings on him. He drops really low. He uses Cloak of Shadows here at the end, but he's just dead since, again, as I said, Cloak of Shadows doesn't really do much against Turbo Cleave. And yeah, right there you can see, with that game, we hit over 2.5k rating again, over 2.5 MMR, so we're getting into the right direction again, which is nice. And for the last game, we got a Turbo Mirror. We don't really face that many turbos, or at least in this session we didn't. So yeah, this is the first Turbo Mirror that we fought. And against Turbo Mirror, it's basically just about trading cooldowns, having the higher consistent pressure, I guess, getting more interrupts on the enemy Paladin, which is what I did right here. I got a kick, and then we can do our go. So I try to hold Ascendance here and just do a small go to force Astral Shift from the Shaman, which is exactly what happened here. And so during Astral Shift we just hit the warrior to get some damage on him, maybe force parry, which didn't happen here, but it's still fine. So here the enemy Enhancement Shaman actually uses his Ascendance first, which is pretty nice for us. And we just duel him, and yeah, he just keeps damaging me, which is pretty nice. And I still have my Ascendance, I still keep it as an additional threat here. We wait for the big heal to go off, wings are down as well on the Holy Paladin. So now it's pretty much the time where we want to get a kill. I also get the interrupt on the healer there, but I don't want to use my Ascendance without Doomwinds at this point, since I think it won't have enough throughput to actually get the kill, which is why I'm waiting with my Ascendance here. We got the Fear on the healer, which was pretty nice, and right here, in this situation, I got Doomwinds back, and I got Ascendance still, and I got Bloodlust, so I know if I now get an interrupt on the healer, since they don't have Astral Shift for the Enhancement Shaman, we can get a kill. So in this situation, as you can see, it lights up already down here. I use Bloodlust, I use, I think I want to use Doomwinds here. I actually get feared, which is good that I get feared before I use my Doomwinds. I try to hex the heal, but I don't get it, I get interrupted. And right here is the moment where I get the interrupt on the healer, as you can see. I'm in my Doomwinds window, I hit Ascendance, and we try to pump. We try to pump the Shaman. But the Paladin, unfortunately, gets the sack off before he gets hodged. But you know what Blessing of Sacrifice means if I'm in my Doomwinds window and I got my Ascendance up. We instantly swap to the Paladin, 1 Wind Strike, another Wind Strike, Chain Harvest, and... Oh, I didn't even use Chain Harvest, okay, it was just Wind Strikes. And Condemn from my Warrior, I guess. And we kill him in the swap. And yeah, that's how we beat the Turbo Mirror right there. And as you can see, 25-25 rating again. We're almost at 2.6 MMR again. And I think in this last bit, yeah, you can see the stats of the session. We went 13-2 in 15 games, which was an insane session actually. We fought back to our rating. We recovered from scubaing down to like, I don't know, 2.3k MMR. So I hope you could take something from this video. Hopefully you learned some stuff. Let me know in the comments if you still have additional questions that I still left open for you. So if you have additional questions, just ask me them in the comments or check out my stream and ask me there. And I'm always happy to answer all of your questions. And with that being said, also leave me some feedback about how you like the videos, if you like this kind of PvP commentary style, if you enjoyed it and if you get something out of it that helps you. And with that being said, I thank you guys for watching, take care and stay healthy, and I hope to see you guys in the next video or in my next live stream. Bye bye.